Welcome back, everybody. This Saturday, there is an event going on that I really want you to consider. Even better, register for it, spend some time thinking about it, because it is the Dash for Ash. It's an event that memorializes and remembers and carries on the message of a member of our beloved island community who left us a year ago this week. That would be Ash Lam. His mother, Dr. Yitka Lam, is here, who created not only the Ash Lam Foundation, but is putting together this 5K in his honor to help educate the island about youth mental health. Doc, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Jason. I'm glad to be able to spread the word.
Absolutely. Okay, I'd like to do this first. So guys, if we can get like a shot of this this wonderful young man. Doc, tell us who Ash was, and through the foundation and the memories we have of him, who he continues to be for us.
Yes. Well, we want to celebrate Ashanafi's life. You know, Ashanafi's name means winner. We go Ash for short. He was born in Ethiopia, and his birth mother gave him that name. Unfortunately, due to her circumstances, she was not able to continue caring for him, and he ended up in an orphanage. And Ash came to our life when he was 6 years old. He came to Guam and joined my family. He was the youngest of 6 children. There were 3 birthed to me and 3 adopted, and he was the youngest son. Mm-hmm. And he was a joyful person, an athletic person, somebody who loved to laugh and make other people laugh. He was always there for the underdog. If there was somebody who was, you know, a weaker person or somebody who needed help, he was there for them. Very, very beloved in our family and also in his school. And he played sports. He was an athlete. He played soccer really well. And
he's a Harvest Eagle all the way.
Yeah, well, yes. And he also got a black belt in Taekwondo even during the pandemic time. So, I mean, he was really an outstanding human being that we really loved. And at the same time, he was apparently silently struggling, that we had no idea about. No one, you know, afterwards you do you look everywhere for clues. You look to the friends, the teachers, the sports, everybody. It's like, what happened? Did he say anything? Did anybody know anything? And nobody had any clue, because he was a master at keeping his feelings inside and trying to handle them on their own. He was a very independent and proud person. Even though he was a young person, he was only 14, but he thought he could handle things by himself. And I think this is my message to many people out there, particularly young men sometimes, you know, feeling like you can handle big storms by yourself, going out. I think of it as an emotional storm, thinking you can handle it alone. We had no warning. The day before, he had a normal day. He went to his sports and went to an actual birthday party with some friends in the evening. Bonfire, came home, we were talking. Beautiful evening, everything was fine. Next morning, thought we were going to Taekwondo, and unfortunately he was gone. And this was the worst shock of my life, just a tragedy. And I never want that to happen to anybody else. And unfortunately, I know he's not the only one, because every year this happens on Guam and around the United States as well. So in Guam, behavioral health tells me that it's 1 person every 2 weeks, at least, that dies. And then there are all the others who attempt and don't die. And then there's
maybe even more that contemplate.
Contemplate. So when they did the studies in Guam, which they did do surveys, they found that about 1 out of 4 high schoolers is thinking sometimes about suicide. And then something like 1 out of 6 or 7 considers making a plan and attempting. And so I think, you know, there's a lot of shame around suicide. When this first happened, you know, it's this terrible shock. You just really, you know, you don't know what to do. But one thing that has happened over this year is, instead of wanting to run away and start a new life and escape the pain, I just don't want anybody else to go through this pain. So I want to not carry shame. So I want to say, you know, I did my best as a parent. I thought I knew what was happening with my son. I talked to him all the time. My family was a loving family. He didn't do drugs. There was nothing bad that happened. But yet, this happened because of probably some risk factors that my son had that we weren't aware of. because of some bullying, some racism, some other things that happened, but we're just speculating because he never expressed anything. So what my message is to young people and all people is that we've got to share our feelings, because nobody's a mind reader. And when you're going through an emotional storm, let's say, there's mental illness and then there's mental distress, right? Illness would be something like schizophrenia, bipolar, and so on. And those are treatable diseases, okay? Depression. And then there's times when we're just overwhelmed, maybe, also, and where people make impulsive and terrible decisions, and this is one that you can't take back. And when suicide happens, it doesn't just touch the family, it touches the whole community, because it's like a bomb that blows up. There's EMTs, 911, there's friends, there's school. It affects so many people, and in such a very deep way. And so our message is to be kind to your mind, express your feelings, talk about it if you're having problems, and if you're the one receiving the information, if somebody shares something with you, be sensitive to it, listen, be help that person through their difficulties, and most of all, direct them to the new number that we have on Guam, which is the 988 number.
Right.
The 988 number, not everybody knows about it. Everybody knows 911. If there's a fire in your house, you call 911. You don't think you can handle the fire alone. You would never do that. But if you have a fire in your mind and you're a young adult, you call 988, because those people are trained and they can help you get through that crisis time. Sometimes you just can't talk to your family, even though they adore you, your friends, whoever, you feel so alone, call 988. And they have a wonderful team that can come and help, and it's an amazing thing. So I just want to spread the word about 988 as something that can help.
And Yitka, may I say that, I've known you for more than a decade right now. We've been working together on this set, for so long, doing so many stories. And I know the variety of perspectives with which you could speak, as a Guamanian, as a woman, as a successful business person, as a compassionate healthcare practitioner. But I can see.
I'm a mom.
Yeah, exactly. And that, first and foremost, you are a mom. You're always going to be Ash's mom.
Yeah.
And let Ash's journey, let's call it. I don't mean any disrespect by framing it like that. Let his voice help anybody out there who may be experiencing something or will experience something like that. And then the tears that are now coming, and I'm sure the many you're holding back right now, are testament to that.
Yeah.
That Ash is going to be a hero, and he is going to work positively in many, many families' lives locally.
I sure hope so. It's the only hope that we want to give. We don't want to cry and be sad. We want to celebrate his life. We want to pass the message also of the mistake that he made. And I'm sure, if he had had the chance, would have regretted the mistake. There's never a good reason to take your own life. It's a terrible tragedy. It's a mistake. We forgive the mistake, but at the same time, we don't want anyone else to make the mistake, because whatever problem you're going through, there is a solution. It takes time to find solutions. Sometimes young people feel hopeless about the future. They're heartbroken. Their girlfriend broke up with them. Something bad has happened to them. They've got family problems. It seems so big and overwhelming. With time, those of us who are older know that crisis happens. Big waves in the ocean happen. But then things calm down. We had lots of storms and wind and rain last week, and this week the sun is there. But you need time to get through it, and you need other people to get you through it.
Okay, so now that we know that Ash is always going to be in our lives, for generations of Guamanians yet to come, and he is going to be, the voice and that avenging angel that will get people through this, we can now honor him by taking part in this wonderful race that we have. So let's talk about that. How did you come up with that idea to have a race, and how did you come up with Be Kind to Your Mind? Well,
I have to say that it's my friend Norma Del Carmen's idea, because she's really a wonderful friend, has gotten me through so much, and had this flash of inspiration of what can we do to, as the 1-year anniversary was coming up. I had set up the foundation in hopes of educating people about resources that are available, again, the 988, and also risk factors that we could maybe talk about also of childhood adverse experiences that affect our mental and physical health later on in life. And I think many people don't know about them, just like cholesterol, high blood pressure, all those type of things affect heart disease. Certain things that happen to you in childhood can affect your mental health later, and they're validated. So,
and may I just say, like on the website, ashlam.com, right? Everybody,
Yeah.
please go check it out, because it's a beautiful website, beautiful message. And Yitka, as Ash's mother, wrote this beautiful passage and said that, a lot of the things that he was going through during a very, very tough time for all of us, especially teens,
Yeah.
with being locked in, being separated from, friends and classmates during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like you said, being affected by the Black Lives Matter
Yes.
movement, the murder of George Floyd, things like that, a relationship that that did dissolve, like at that time, and everything like that. So you're actually putting to words what he possibly wasn't unable to at that time, and I would think that that's very cathartic for a lot of people that will read that. So please make sure to check out that website, everybody, ashlam.com, and learn of Ash's story.
So the 5K is to have a joyful and happy event. Okay, to be kind to our mind. Because how can we be kind to our mind? We can be kind to our mind by eating well, by exercising, by getting good sleep, by not doing drugs and alcohol. These are things that we can do to be kind to our minds, but we can also be kind to our minds by sharing emotions and feelings, letting them out, crying, it's okay, expressing, saying, I am heartbroken, not pretending to be tough.
A lot of dudes don't want to emote.
I know.
But
But
it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, it's hard. You have to be vulnerable.
I read that one time. They said the most masculine thing you can do as a guy, like
Yeah.
they said, is to actually cry in the
Yeah.
presence of others.
Yeah, it takes
They'd be like,
guts.
wow, that's a real man right there. He's
Takes
shedding
guts.
tears. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're going to do the 5K. It's down in Ipao, at Ipao Beach. Showtime 6 o'clock, race time 6:30. You don't have to race. You can walk. You don't have to run if you don't want to run. And we are blessed to have some really wonderful sponsors that helped us with it. We've got Payless and GTA and Triple J and many wonderful companies that helped us with this event. And I'm very grateful to all of them. If there's anybody I forgot right now, sorry and thank you. And of course, Harvest is participating, and we're grateful for their support. There's going to be a lot of kids there. And we want to spread the message of it's okay to talk about mental health and not being okay. It's okay to not be okay, because you will be okay, because we're going to get you through it.
And Ash is going to be there, right there. So,
Tough one, right? Yeah.
there's been very, very few times when I've been at a loss for words. But again, someone who we know, we care for you.
Thank you.
Everything you've been through, it is not for nothing, because Ash, his memory is with us.
Thank you.
His legacy will be with us, and what he's going to do for this community and the service that he will provide through his story. and
It's
everything. So-
sincerely my wish, and thank you so much for allowing me to come here. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
so real quick, ashlam.com is where people can go to register.
Yes,
Right?
yes, and you can just go to either Harvest, Express Care, or just come down to Ipao on Saturday morning.
Yeah. Remember, I said, everybody, if you're a dude, nothing wrong with crying. So we are gonna get some tissue, and we'll be back, Yitka and I, with the rest of the show right after this. Please stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.